When it comes to a humbucker guitar, John Mayer has relied on three distinct guitars throughout the years. The first one is the Gibson ES335, the Eric Clapton Crossroads edition. You have a vintage 1961 Gibson Les Paul, which is really an SG, and then you have the beautiful platinum finished PRS 594 with pickups made specifically for John in them. And today we're going to be looking at that vintage SG and the 594. Now for Edge of Desire, which is really the main consistent song that you'd see John performing with a humbucker guitar every night, I thought it'd be really cool to just take a look at two different performances. One where John is using that Gibson Les Paul SG, of course, and then the PRS 594. Now before someone comments, I'm sure some of you are probably thinking, well, how can you compare two different guitars from two different eras where all of the rest of the gear is different and neither of these are professionally shot examples as well. We're not nitpicking or deep diving into the different tones because yes, it's impossible to do that. But what I thought would be fun is to compare just two different clips of John playing either instrument for the same solo from two different eras, and then just to see what you guys like the best, which guitar, because I've seen a lot of people actually say that that Les Paul SG is their favorite guitar John has ever used, and then same thing with that Platinum 594. I've seen a lot of people online say, man, that's my favorite guitar John has ever used, you know, forget the Strats, that's the one I love the most. So you guys, after you're done watching these two clips, let me know which one you prefer, and I just think it'd be a really cool experiment to see what your guys' thoughts are, and then after we watch these clips together, I'll then give my thoughts. So again, please leave a comment down below and let me know which guitar you like better. Again, it's just really cool to try and compare two different instruments and see what you guys all think, us really kind of crazy John Mayer fans, what guitar you prefer. Now, my insight here, number one, the footage that we got with that Gibson Les Paul was incredible, and I'd never seen that specific version of that solo on that night until relatively recently, and I really do love the sound and just the vibe of that guitar, especially from that era. That said, however, personally, I am biased away from Gibson SGs. I've owned a couple, I've played quite a lot, and number one, I've had really bad experience with some of them having just really severe neck dive. Just like, I can't enjoy playing the guitar with that much neck dive on it. And then two, like sometimes for me, I find that they're almost too light. Like my vintage Les Pauls are very heavy, and I've actually gotten quite used to heavier guitars, and weight doesn't necessarily bug me with a guitar anymore. So when a guitar is very light, it almost throws me off, and I find some SGs can be absurdly light, almost, you know, too far the other way, where I'm like, there's not a lot here, and I feel like I'm holding a toy almost. That's just me personally. No offense to you guys who love Gibson SGs or anything like that. And John has been on the record saying that, you know, back in 2010, that Gibson Les Paul SG was his favorite instrument to play. It's the one that finally made him put down a Stratocaster and was the one that he just was like, this is it for me right now. This is my favorite guitar to play, which is a big deal for John, who's always been a Strat guy. For him to say, this guitar is my current favorite thing to play, that's pretty huge, and that says a lot and gives a lot of credit to those guitars, obviously. But for me at least, it's all about that 594. The platinum finish is gorgeous with the matching headstock, and to me at least, that's the guitar I'd lean towards if I had to pick between, you know, an SG or a 594. I'd easily go the 594. Even though it's kind of PRS's take on the whole Gibson thing with humbuckers, that's a guitar I prefer, and I think it just suits John's vibe and the mojo of him, that guitar. I think it just suits everything better. And again, that's just me personally. I'm just giving my own take here, so don't, you know, flame me in the comments for not liking the SG. But that's just my personal opinion on the subject. Again, I just thought this would be a really cool video, taking two different eras, two different performances of the same song with a different guitar, and seeing what you guys prefer. Tone, the guitars, everything. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you guys enjoyed this video kind of comparing again, same song, but, you know, from two different times and two different guitars, mainly is what we're talking about here. Let me know, I can make more of these videos on the channel. This is a fun video to make, actually, and go back and just find some good footage from two different eras and be like, okay, here's what we're going to look at today. So let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.
Anyway, go ahead and click the subscribe button if you like what you see.